Hello, everybody. Welcome to Dose Town. And so, in case you haven't heard yet, we at the end of the last CS, I think it was Miyagi. We got there's an announcement that there's going to be a ban list. I feel like a lot of people are really hoping for one or expecting one at this point, with how Blue Purple Luffy is doing. So, I'm here with Grayson,
What's up, guys?
and we're just gonna talk about maybe a couple of the cards that we're thinking we're going to get banned. So, first things first, do you think the leader is actually going to get banned? The blue purple Luffy leader?
I was thinking about it last night. I don't think any leader is getting hit realistically. I don't like this leader's good, but I don't think he's near the power level of the other two leaders that got banned. Like, like what he does is good, right? But like, I don't think he's doing anything like game breaking, if that makes sense. Like all of his stuff that's like game, he's only broken because of like the cards he's getting, right? Like the power level of like the other cards supporting him are just like way too high.
Mhm. Yeah, I guess I can see that.
Like
I mean, I think.
in my eyes, he's like similar in power level for like a leader effect to like Lucci in my head, where he's just like it's a very good leader effect, right? But it's not like it's just like very like he's even like more locked down though than like Lucci is, because Lucci is just mill too.
Yeah.
So it's like in my head, it's like he's good, but like he is only broken because he has the like Gecko Moria card.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. But I mean, it's just like, it makes it hard to, like, for as long as he's around, to, like, make really good defensive options in blue and purple, right? Because, like, I feel like he's just, like, a product
Yeah,
of, like, Nine Mom being really, really good. Like, hitting sixes hits everybody's, like, a lot of key pieces for most decks, and then Giant being absurd as well. So I can see like a world where it's just bad, just because like it makes it hard to print like really good defensive options, right? In blue and purple that are
yeah. I was
not a
gonna
straw hat. Like it's just
Yeah. It's probably just more of I guess it like pigeonholes their card design if they like keep him in the game.
mhm.
But I feel like the problem is like at this point, if they just keep printing like good Straw Hat cards in purple, like they just have like too many good leaders at this point that like benefit too much from it.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't know. I feel like there's like the problem. I don't know. Like all three of the giant abuser decks are just like disgusting, and every time they print a good purple card that's like a Straw Hat, they're like buffing all three of them most of the time if they can like fit into the archetype.
Yeah. All right. So maybe in general, probably not getting banned. I think the one that most people wanted, Giant. Do you think it's getting hit this time around?
I doubt it. It probably should. Like if I was gonna like ban a card, it would be giant. But like that's probably not gonna happen because they just printed a manga for it and Bandai likes money. But
Yeah.
yeah, if we didn't know the leaks already, I would assume it would be giant. But I also assumed it would have been giant last time we had a ban list, and instead we got Raigo. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I would hope this time they would ban Giant. I mean, it's just like it's kind of literally fundamentally wrong when there's like so many purple straw hat leaders that can use the card, and it's like, okay, like you get to counter for
there's no
essentially
real
no cost for most of the decks.
yeah, there's no real cost, and then most of the decks you're just like, oh sick, I get to play like a stupid high brick count now because of it.
Yeah.
Here's the real question: if Giant was banned, do you think Up is a fair deck?
Yeah, I think definitely it could be fair. I think people who think that the deck would live through a giant ban, it's like, yeah, the deck would still be strong, and I mean I think that's just a testament to how strong the leader effect is, right? But like not being able to stay hand neutral while countering against like a lot of really wide swings, like really goes super far in blue purple specifically, right? Like when you draw two cards a turn and you stay
Yeah.
hand neutral, it's like okay, kind of impossible
Yeah,
to break
like
through.
I had somebody at my locals who was like, yeah, if they ban Gum Giant, you just play Blast Breath, and I'm like, the problem isn't the fact that it's like the plus 4K matters, right? But it's not like the main reason. The main thing is you're going hand neutral while countering a swing that like you shouldn't be allowed to.
Yeah, basically, right? Because like there's probably like a lot of games where like your swings were wide enough, but like through like a giant saving two cards, right? It's just like okay, like I can't break through the guy's hand anymore, right? Because like it holds enough card advantage for like that one extra turn.
Or they like stack their top 5 so they can't die that turn where they're like, oh yeah, I have 2 Dawn up and I've stacked it to where my draws are going to be giant into gear 2 2k, and it's like, oh yeah, sick. Like I just can't kill him now because giant represents what? 9k counter
Something
now?
like that, yeah.
So it's just like, okay, yeah man, have fun.
How do you feel about like 9 cost mom? I think so. I think following on if up would be fair or not without giant. I think probably it would be fair if you took Linlin as well, or not as well, like Linlin and left giant. I think it'd still be like frustrating because like yeah, like giant being that much counter in one card is like like it's kind of gross. But I think also like removing the life gain would make blue purple pretty fair, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think. Like I'm just like, so in my head it would just be like, what is the boss monster that's replacing it? And I feel like the card quality is probably low enough that like you definitely could get away with hitting it and it would definitely hurt the deck, but I don't know how much, because I could definitely just see a world where they just play the Dofi like top end like engine instead, and that just becomes the norm. And then like now we're just playing like a Kata Dofi deck where we just have like stupid value late game.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because like there's a lot of games where like I just go to 0 and I don't care.
Mhm.
Like I more often than not find myself not casting 9 Mom. Like if I can cast Kata over 9 Mom, I'm just always casting Kata.
Mhm.
So it's just like if that's the case, then like I don't know, hitting the card seems very like whatever. And then like every time we get new like top end for like either color, you could just think of it as like blue purple support that like might be broken.
Yeah, but I think also there's like something to say about the 9 mom also hitting the other person's 6 cost, right? Like it slows a lot of people down,
I was
right?
just Yeah, that's probably the main problem is you're getting a body on board and removing a character, and then you're also healing one. That's where like it's busted. But like I don't think specifically like healing alone is the
Oh
problem.
yeah, yeah. I
But like
agree for sure. But I think it's just that 9 mom itself, like because you heal and remove something that like it's such a big wall. Like
yeah, yeah.
it's almost as big of a wall as giant, right? Um, do you want to start with any other cards that you feel like could hit the list?
So like I'm kind of shocked we're getting a list right now. I think the meta's honestly in a good spot. Besides like blue purple is like arguably problematic. But if I thought we were hitting another card, in my head it's like I think pudding is still a good candidate. Um, and then it's just like this card is just like always gonna be bad, like problematic probably.
Yeah,
And then
I would
every
love this card to be hit.
every time I see somebody post on Twitter where they're like, "Yeah, I had a 5 card hand, but since I had Dawn up, my opponent puddings me into a 5 card like hand of bricks," and then it's like you almost have to be under 5 cards to like late game for them to like even like hesitate to play pudding, and even then, most time they'll just play it because you filtered your hand so
Yeah.
much. And it's just like, yeah, man, I hope I just don't get shuffled into 5 bricks. And it's just, it feels so bad.
That's a skillful interaction.
Um, yeah, for sure. The other card that I was thinking of, oh, what was it? Lost it. Oh, it probably won't happen, but I think Hoodie was like, probably just always broken. But I think at the moment, he's the only reason green is staying afloat, so you probably just can't hit it for a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see a world where this card gets hit, but it'd just be kind of strange. I don't know. Like, of like the broken cards you could put on the ban list, I feel like Hodie's like odd, mostly because it's not like Hodie is like any of the other cards. Where, like, where you like most of the time when you have it, you just play it like belligerently, right? But like a lot of the times for like Bonnie, for example, against like aggressive decks, you can't just drop it. Even though like ideally, if you had enough life against like those kinds of decks, like it could stabilize you just because of the cost of ripping the life as well. I mean, like I don't know, like
Yeah,
when you play
I'm
other green
more.
decks, it feels very fair as well a lot of the time.
Yeah, I think like the only deck that like really abuses it besides like Bonnie is like Red Green Smoker, and that's just because of how Dawn efficient it is.
Yeah, basically. But like
But
that's like a result. Like they're going so fast, right? Which I think is like
yeah,
fair.
in my head, I'm just like, if we gut up, and then it's like, okay, the meta shifts, right? Green is just getting so much next set. I would look at it as almost like the Raigo ban, where it's like they're preemptively hitting the deck that would like probably be problematic going forward.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can see that making sense, but it's just like in my mind, like if green's like the best color, and like it really depends. Like if it's like Bonnie, for example, right, where it's like so defensive, like it just like you just play removal decks, like
Yeah.
pretty much like the only green deck that would like quote green deck, right, that would make it through like black coming back is green purple maybe.
I mean, I don't know. I think green actually has enough floodgates. They could arguably get through it pretty consistently now. Because they have Tash, they have the 2-drop blocker, and they have the other 2-drop blocker.
Yeah, but I think it's just like you're still relying on things sticking, and like there's plenty of like good ways to remove like the annoying stuff, at least for just the mono black color, right? Like, and then like
Yeah.
just that alone, I think is enough that like I don't feel like Hody really needs to get hit. Because it's just like
Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
like the only deck that like I guess I forgot about Green Zoro because I haven't played it yet, but like that's probably also the only like real green deck, right? That would probably be able to play.
Yeah. That's kind of that was the deck I'm thinking of whenever I'm like, I could see it being hit because of that. It would be because of like Green Zoro.
Yeah. Speaking of Green Zoro, do you think anything in that deck's getting hit? I mean, he's the second most topping leader, basically, in all the CSs. So
I mean, I assume they're not going to hit any of the new cards. I don't think the new cards are like that crazy on their own. Besides like maybe Mihawk, but they want to sell boxes, so they probably would never hit something current. And I think the only cards that aren't like new is like Hody, and just like I'm trying to think what other green cards they play, like off the top of my head. It's like Hody, Cavendish,
yeah,
right?
Cavendish.
But I think if you hit Cavendish, Bonnie is like never playable again.
Yeah, I guess you could. I guess that's the way to look at it. I mean, there's options. It should be.
Oh yeah, but like your deck gets a lot worse compared to the other good like green decks that like play their 5-drop on curve.
Yeah.
I highly doubt Zoro gets hit because I think a lot of his like good matchups are like into the bad decks that like are trying to counter up.
Yeah.
So I honestly I feel like he would get hurt just as much as it would like benefit him for up to get banned or hit.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel the same way about it, honestly.
The deck that I could actually see getting preemptively hit if they're like gutting up would be Blackbeard actually.
Yeah.
I think Blackbeard is like just so far ahead in this point, like from a support like standpoint. Like he just has so much going for him.
Yeah. What would you even touch in Blackbeard? I think it's interesting because like there's two clear distinctive ways this could go, right? Where it's like you either support like the Burgess Turbo or you support being him like another like cringe removal deck. I think if it was up to me, I would really rather that Teach is like if we're making a ban list like make Teach be one way or the other, not nearly as strong. Like I would hope they would choose like just like making big Burgesses because at least on some level it's interactable. But like
Really?
I
I'm like the
ugh.
opposite. In my head, I'm like I would rather them make Teach. So like so like the card that I think like would be hit that would make it to where like either strategy is worse would just be Stage.
Sure.
Like in my head, it's just like you hit Stage and it lowers the consistency, and then they have to play extra cards that they're cutting right now to like make sure their deck is actually consistent, or they're like not, or like they're not like because like right now it's like you Omni search your entire combo, and like you're just Lucci if Lucci had a Stage that searched, and like you just have so much consistency, and then all of your like cards are just on KO like net value, like Augur's disgusting. The 5-drop Kuzan's insane. 7-drop Teach is insane. Like, they just have so many cards that make it, like, way too easy to, like, just, like, win games. Right now, off just, like, you just out-attrition everybody is what it feels like. So it's like, in my head, you just cut down on the stage to where they can't just sit there and go, yeah, I'll cycle this turn for free and find whatever piece I'm missing. To where at least then it's, like, harder to just, like, have everything every time.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
And then it's like it weakens their Burgesses as well, but it also like weakens like their 5-drop Kuzans and all that. And it makes like the like removal Tempest Kick strategy like harder to do.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I guess if it's overall power, I can see that. I think for me, like, I just really dislike the aspect of like you don't have on plays, and this guy's just going to sit here and just like spin a bunch of like reduction and removal, and like you don't even have on plays to like make something work. Really, it's just incredibly toxic.
I mean, yeah, I mean realistically, I don't know how you like hit Blackbeard without just banning the leader, but I don't think he's at that power level yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I mean, he is the leader that like back then, like even like back when he came out, people were just like, yeah, he has like such a high ceiling, and it's just only limited by how good his support is. And we're getting to a point now where it's like he's what like 2 sets of support and a starter deck in, and it's like all of the cards he keeps getting are just like more and more like free value cards that just like passively net him value. And we're just getting to a point now where it's like the pitching off leader effect is like almost like not real most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish.
And the games.
Very good.
I don't know. It's just like the games go. The games feel like it's. Blackbeard has the most games I feel like where he just puts you in checkmate scenarios way too quickly.
Yeah.
That I think is my one problem with the deck. Is like, even more so than like other removal decks like Lucci or like Sokka back in the day. It's just like this deck puts you in so many spots where like you essentially have just been Exodia'd on like turn 3 or 4, and there's no way you ever come back from that point.
Yeah.
Because it's just like they have so much value on board. I think also 7-drop adding back itself is actually kind of wild.
It's definitely just like the cherry on top of.
This card just reads like a custom card, honestly.
It's just like really the cherry on top of like whatever that started, or like this card is supposed to be, right? Like the main alone was probably good enough because it was searchable, but then like you just add one more line of text for fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I get it, adding a card back is like fine. Like I really don't care with like on KO add a card back. It's just the fact that you can just add itself back. So like you basically like disincentivize them to like ever want to remove it. Besides like exactly Red Rock.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, yeah, I think overall like we're both pretty much like agree that like it'd be odd to hit anything outside of blue purple. Like it's basically probably only one of the like 3 cards that inside blue purple that you would hit. I guess there's one card we didn't talk about before we cap it off. Do you think Kata is getting hit?
I think in my I do think Kata is probably the most like just like egregious card we've got recently.
It is pretty crazy, right?
The card just does like I actually just don't understand why the card does as much as it does. Like compared to I think like every other 8 cost I can think of off the top of my head, like none of them like reach the value points that like Kata did besides like Gecko.
Yeah.
Like he does so much for so little. And then he has the ramp effect too, right? Like the fact that he's not even like if he was archetype locked, I honestly don't think the card would be that crazy. But like he isn't archetype locked, and like the part of him that is locked isn't even relevant because it lets him restand himself still.
Yeah, it's
so it's like
crazy that like you don't have to have 2 of these on board to restand each other. Like
yeah, he just does so much. It's like the closest like 8 drops in like value right now are like him. The Mihawk is probably the best like contender for it, and then it's like 8 cost Rayleigh and like 8 cost Dragon are still just insane, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like after that, oh, and like Kid is like the other like huge like just like game warper, but it's like besides them, everything else is like very like low power for 8 Dawn compared to him.
Yeah.
And like even then, he's like he just nets so much, right? And like if he doesn't get removed, he easily pays his Dawn back in value in like 1 turn,
Oh yeah, for sure.
which is insane to me. Because the turn you play me free blocks, the turn you after he free swings, and then he free blocks again probably, and he lets you re-ramp Dawn after you 9 mom or Giant. So it's just like your leader effects forever on the card. Just this card is just so gross.
Yeah.
Like the best counterplay to him is literally Hody, or I guess it's the DMG event when we get it next set. But it's not even like counterplay. It's just you resting a blocker.
Mhm.
It's just like he just has. There's so like it just feels like there's so little like interaction for this card yet, and they don't really have a way to like. I don't know how they would make it to where he doesn't do what he does. Besides, like I guess like you could play like Beppo and Law and like Green or something to like rest him for the turn. But the problem is he still restands himself at the end of the turn. So it's just like you just lose a swing, but he's still just a free blocker.
Yeah, there's just so much value in like a big side blocker, right? 'Cause, like, I don't know if you remember playing older formats where people are trying 7-cost skid, where it's like, yeah, like having like a big blocker like is so like valuable, but then it's like 7-cost kid was not good because you always need the Dawn under it. Like this is just bigger 7-cost kid, and you don't. There's no cost. It just does it. It's
Yeah, and he re-ramps for some reason. Like the other thing too is like Sanji warps so many of these cards for like from a value standpoint because
yeah.
it's like all. Oh, I guess that is the other card. Not to like get off track. Do we think Sanji is getting hit?
I just would be
Because I feel like this
surprised.
card. I feel like this card enables the deck to like cheat as much as it does, right? Because I feel like without Sanji, I wouldn't say the deck's fair, but like it would definitely make it a lot slower, right? But it's just like doing like the double 9 after you get a cattle blocker down is just like basically unlosable almost for like most of the decks in the format to like beat from that point. Like it's so much value in 1 turn. And like if you play 9 mom off of it, it's like what? You're playing 18 Dawn worth of bodies, you're removing a 6 cost, you're healing 1,
Yeah.
and then Cattery ramps it anyways, and then you Giant. So it's just like, yeah. And if you stack a trigger off your Big Mom, there's possibly even more value, like behind the life still. So it's just like, it's just it's such an unassuming card, I feel like right now, but it just does way too
Yeah.
much for like up specifically.
I can see like
But I would be shocked to see them hit it honestly,
uh,
because like every other deck that plays him has never been like busted. Is like my thought process.
yeah, no, I think that makes sense, but I think also like I don't think it'll get hit, but like if they hit it, I think it'd actually probably be like the most like leveling change. Like I feel like I would still be strong. I think no matter what you do, unless you hit a lot of cards, like more than one card, then up would live through it for sure, and still be like a tier 1 deck, right? But like if you hit the Sanji as well, I could see it being like very like leveling for the deck. Like the aspect of slowing it down, right? Like even though it has inevitability, like makes a lot of sense. Like I feel like there's a lot of like games that just get too out of hand because like they have 2 Sanjis, even though like they're very playable. Like I feel like a lot of green purple games, like um like green purple versus blue purple, like if they like only put 9 mom down or only put Kata down, so like Sanji Kata, Sanji 9 mom, like the game is slow enough that you can still win through those, but like you lose a lot of situations where like the first body is Sanji plus Kata or Sanji plus 9 mom, and then like the follow up is like the same, just because like the extra body speeds the game
Yeah,
up so much, right?
yeah. It's just I was gonna say it's like I don't think there's many games where I even need to resolve 2 Sanjis. Like if I'm resolving a second one, it is probably just to keep pushing like my lead.
Yeah,
But like you resolve that first one, and then from there the game feels like nearly unlosable most of the time.
yeah,
Like besides the mirror specifically, where you need to like to chain Sanjis a lot of the time, every other matchup just feels like, oh, I resolved a Sanji combo, sick, well played, man. Like that's just it's just such a big tempo swing. It feels like, and the deck already has like so much like late game value where they can like starve decks and afford to do that like efficiently.
Mhm.
And it's just like getting an extra card to make it to where like you always have like the inevitable late game just feels so
Yeah,
unfair.
I mean the other aspect of that, like when you star them too, is you end up with two like 9K beaters, right? So like the game like ends so fast, like whether you're just like beating over their bodies defensively or not, right? Or you're just pushing face. It's just like
Yeah, and the problem too is like you never have to commit to game. It feels like there's very few times where I'm ever in a spot where I'm like, oh, I just have to all in you here because I can't live another
Mhm.
turn.
But yeah, like I don't.
Almost every game is just yeah.
Yeah,
Go
no,
ahead.
I mean I definitely feel like if it got hit, it'd actually be pretty good for just at least like making up closer to fair. But like I think if you hit like two cards or or more, like up is definitely in a rough spot for now.
I think if you hit 2 cards, the deck is probably dead, and if you hit 1 card, the deck is probably still fine.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, unless it was like exactly like Gum Gum Giant Mom, but then like even actually I don't know. Even then, I could honestly see the deck still being playable,
Giant and
which
Mom.
is
I feel like that's
it's a lot. I think it would have like someone would have to crack a list, but like I don't know. The deck just has so much going for it. I could definitely like see like them playing like either like the Straw Hat Blue like one drop event, and then like I don't know like Mihawk or something.
mhm,
Because like you still just get crazy value off like Sanji, right? Like that's the problem is this deck is just such a good deck to like enable Sanji,
yeah.
and you already defend your life pretty aggressively. So it's like even without Giant, you would probably just play more counter and like cut down on your bricks a little bit,
Okay.
and then the deck's still just like insane, right?
Yeah, I guess it would be playable. I don't think it would be insane. I feel like a big part of it is the defensive value, right?
Yeah, you would just have to play like full turbo like ramp, I guess.
Mhm.
But I don't know. There's definitely I don't know. There's like it still has potential, but it would definitely be like low tier one more than likely.
Mm. All right.
But
Yeah. Any other
yeah,
cards?
I don't know. Um, trying to think. Talked about green, Blackbeard. Not off the top of my head. I was actually looking at OP top decks to see what's been winning recently to see if there's any other cards I could just like think of.
No, I think.
Oh, I guess here's one. Do we think Buggy would be hit like retroactively to like prevent like him just being like insane
Oh, like anything in that
if like
deck?
up goes away?
No, I think the problem is just like there's enough decks that like can beat Buggy and like but like still have like very sufficient counters. Like Green Yellow Law for sure like is very hard for Buggy. Uh, I'm Green Purple is also like a very difficult matchup for Buggy. Like even without Giant, I think Green Purple would win against Buggy a majority of the time. Like, cause like most of the times the games against Buggy, you just lose to like okay, they like have a bunch of beaters and they play pudding and then like pray that you draw into like 4 bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like yeah, shoe Buggy is definitely like something annoying, but like I feel like those are just like the two like off the top of my head decks that would beat Buggy. Oh, and also like Green Zoro is also very hard for Buggy as well. So like I think there's enough counters there that like it'd be odd to see Buggy get hit. Like as like preemptively.
Yeah, I don't think Buggy would ever get hit. I'm just thinking like if he would be too good, but if I guess because like the problem is like except unless it's exactly giant, GP just stays like insanely strong.
Yeah.
Which I guess is the other problem. Do we think GP would be getting hit in this like scenario where like we hit up?
I think he'll get hit by like proxy, but like I think there's also still like a lot of wiggle room now, like with decks like Zoro, Rayleigh, and then like other aggro decks. Like we've seen already that like GP can sometimes just not get there in like the sea of like aggro decks in Swiss and stuff like that, right? It's still kind of fragile in that sense, but so I think it would not get a targeted hit. I feel like it'd be odd.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like trying to figure out like I guess it's just like if the meta shifts, are we just getting in? Like my problem here is we have so many strong decks now. It's just like if Bandai hits like just one deck, I feel like we're just gonna come in back into the same format. But it's like a new deck is just shifted to be like the like crazy value deck.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I
So in my head, it's just like they have to hit more than one this time, or else we're just gonna come back into the same spot.
yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that. I mean, I wouldn't put it past Bandai to really have something like interesting in this next ban list decision. Like, right, like Rygo, I feel like came out of nowhere in the last ban list, right? But I think it actually ended up making sense in the long run. Hody for me, I think was honestly my call for like, yeah, like if they want to hit something kind of random to like make and like level the playing field even more, it would be Hody. But I don't think I can think of any other like pinpointed cards where like if you just hit this in this color beforehand, like the meta will end up looking healthier. I don't have many like single one of cards. I think you would have to hit like a couple of things as well in the other colors, and I feel like it might be too much for Bandai to like look that far.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you have any other one of cards that you would put on the ban list like preemptively?
I'm trying to think. It's just like I don't like honestly. Okay, like before they announced the ban list, I was honestly kind of shocked they announced one. Because in my head, I think the format is like in a pretty good spot, and like Up isn't winning a ton in Japan right now. Like it's good, don't get me wrong, but I don't know if I would put the deck at the same level as like the other decks that have been hit in the past. Like I'm just thinking, and like in my head, it's like it's not equal to full power BY, it's not equal to full power Sokka, it's not equal to full power Lucci or full power RP Law. Like the deck is very good, but I feel like the other decks in the game now have got to a point where they're just equal in power level that like it's not near as problematic as it was before. But I don't know. The deck is definitely frustrating to play against though. I think I'm also like very biased as like only playing Up for like the past month, but I don't know, like the game is getting to a spot now where like a lot of decks are just like very high power level, so it just feels like if we gut one, there's just gonna be another one that like comes to the top, and then like people will complain about it anyways in like a month.
Yeah. No, I negatively agree with
So
that.
that's where. So I'm just like I don't know. I don't know if there's any preemptive bans that I feel like actually do anything, because we don't have 12 yet, so we don't know how 12 does like with starters post ban.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's like Blackbeard and like maybe Hody are like my two guesses for like best like preemptive hits. And besides that, the meta just seems really open. Which honestly, the meta next set just looks more open than it already is. But I don't know how many of those decks get hurt by Up going away.
Nah, we'll just have to see, I guess. So let's call it here for now. I think
Yeah.
we covered a fair amount of cards. If you made it this far, thanks for watching. Bye.
See you guys.